poor food truck girl ignored the millionaire CEO in line until he whispered, "Still remember me?" The lunch rush had just begun, and the air smelled of sizzling onions, garlic, and tortillas fresh from the griddle. Maria wiped the sweat off her brow with the back of her hand, her apron stained with salsa and grease. She was only 22 but looked older, carrying the weight of bills, her sick mother at home, and the burden of keeping their little food truck alive. To most customers, she was invisible, just another worker in a long line of struggling faces. But Maria was too busy to care. She flipped tortillas, handed out tacos, and forced smiles through exhaustion, determined to keep moving forward. The line stretched down the block, filled with office workers on lunch break, students with backpacks, and a man in a perfectly tailored suit. Maria barely noticed him. To her, a suit was just another sign of wealth. Another person who'd probably glance at her, see the dirt under her fingernails, and think less of her. She had grown used to being ignored, so she returned the favor. "Next," she called, not even lifting her head as the suited man stepped forward. When he spoke, his voice was low, steady, and strangely familiar. "2 carne asada tacos, extra cilantro, just like you used to make." Maria froze, her hand hovering over the tortillas. Slowly, she looked up, her tired eyes meeting his. His hair was shorter now, slicked back with precision, and his watch probably cost more than her entire truck. But the eyes, those deep brown eyes, were the same. "David?" she whispered, her voice catching. The man smiled softly, though there was sadness behind it. "Still remember me?" Her chest tightened, memories rushing back like a flood. David had been her best friend in high school, the quiet boy who sat alone at lunch until she slid her tray beside his. They had shared jokes, late-night study sessions, and dreams about escaping the small town they both hated. Back then, Maria dreamed of opening a restaurant, and David, who wore hand-me-down clothes and hid bruises under his sleeves, dreamed of becoming someone who mattered. Life had torn them apart after graduation. Maria trapped in poverty, David vanishing without goodbye. She blinked hard, trying to keep her composure. I thought you left and forgot about everyone here." "I had to," he admitted, his voice low, "but I never forgot you." The line behind him grew restless, people tapping their feet and muttering, but Maria didn't care. Her hands shook as she finished his order, sliding the tacos across the counter. "These are on the house," she said softly. David shook his head and placed a crisp $100 bill on the counter. "Then consider it an investment. I hear you run this place yourself." Her lips trembled as she nodded. "It's just me and my mom. She's sick, so this is all we've got." Something shifted in David's eyes then, an ache mixed with determination. He leaned closer, lowering his voice so only she could hear. "You once gave me food when I had nothing. Remember senior year? I was starving and you split your lunch with me for weeks. You probably saved me in ways you'll never know." Maria swallowed hard, her throat tight. She remembered, he had always pretended he wasn't hungry, but she saw through him. Sharing her sandwich had seemed so small at the time. "Maria," David continued, his tone almost pleading, "let me help you now, please." Her instinct was to refuse. Pride had kept her going all these years, pride and grit. But looking into his eyes, she saw not pity, but gratitude. He wasn't here to flaunt wealth, he was here to give back. That evening, when the rush was over and the sun dipped low, David returned. Instead of a suit, he wore jeans and a t-shirt, sleeves rolled up as he scrubbed dishes beside her. Maria laughed through tears, remembering how awkward he'd been in high school kitchens during cooking class. And for the first time in years, she felt light again. Weeks passed, and David kept coming back. Not just to buy food, but to work alongside her, to understand her struggle. One day, he pulled out a folder, spreading papers across the small counter. "I want to invest in you," he said. "Not charity, partnership. Let's turn this food truck into the restaurant you dreamed of." Maria's hands flew to her mouth, her eyes brimming with tears. She thought of all the nights she'd fallen asleep praying for a miracle, all the mornings she woke up ready to give up. And now, here it was, not in the form of luck, but in the form of a boy she once saved with nothing more than a sandwich. The grand opening of Maria's Kitchen came 6 months later, a cozy little restaurant with bright walls and the same recipes that once fed strangers on the street. At the ribbon cutting, Maria's mother held her hand, tears of pride in her eyes. David stood beside them, no longer just the millionaire CEO, but the friend who never forgot the kindness that had changed his life. As the crowd cheered and cameras flashed, Maria looked at David and whispered, "Still remember me?" He laughed, his voice breaking. "Always." And in that moment, surrounded by joy and second chances, Maria realized something powerful. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can ripple across years, coming back when you least expect it, transforming not just one life, but two. Because kindness, once given, is never truly lost.